Hey, so here is a little snippet of Benny's training today. He is feeling so much better. Oh my goodness. He was back to his happy, goofy self. Now, I noticed he still can't fully open his mouth, but he was able to eat. And when I gave him some water a couple times, he slurped it, like slurping through a straw. But he was pretty happy about eating and drinking. He had a blast in the daycare yard, and I actually attached a little clip of us working in the daycare yard because we worked on some disengagement in there and leave its and recall just with distractions around. Now, I will admit, he was a little crazy Benny today. He listened, but then when we started adding more distractions and things around us, he did struggle with that a little bit, which honestly, I'm not surprised, especially with having steroids on board. So I would say the next couple days, having puzzle feeders, having activities, using belt leash are going to go a long way for you. Now, these little blue things are mobility aids. I was just using it as a fun trick tool for him to go spin around it. I was also honestly trying to also get his paw up on it just to see what he would do with it. Now, we ran through all of our skills. We ran through them in a calm environment, and then we ran them through the lobby, and then we did the daycare yard just to get him to focus. Now, I didn't do too much heavy play and activity because he was doing it in the daycare yard. But right here, you can see us. We're doing leave it, and he wanted to throw paws at me because he's like, "But I want it." And I just reinforced, leave it, and then he got to pick them up. Stacking commands on top of him, working on integration, I think is going to be the biggest keys for him and getting you guys really comfortable. I would say in the next week or so, let's schedule your private lessons so we can get you comfortable in doing these skills with him. So that way you can find ways to integrate these skills throughout your day. So he reinforces and, oh, hey, I have to listen for this too. So this is a good example of leave it. I'm okay with him walking around. He also was like, oh, look, I can stick my head in your pouch. But this is where he's trying to do pleasing behaviors. And he was doing wonderful, and I was happy for him, but I kept telling him leave it. Just because he's doing a down or saying kisses, we don't get to just go for the things I want. Now, I did reward him and let him go after those treats, but you're going to notice when he comes back to me, I'm going to tell him leave it. So I tell him, good boy, you did it, leave it. And he's like, oh man. You can literally see the teenager and I'm just, fine. There it is. It was really nice to see him feeling so much better. I'm so glad we finally got an answer. So, yep, but we reinforced this. Now, this was a clip a little bit later. We did another session where we worked on recall in a calm environment. We also did some name game in the calm environment just before we went into the daycare yard to, hey, I need you to focus. I also was working on touch, so it's a flat hand and he nose bumps it. It's a great redirection tool when he's choosing to not listen. But it's also just a good, hey, I need you to engage with me. We ran things through down. We worked through all the skills here. But I wanted just a film of us doing some work with him. Now, here is him playing in the daycare yard. He was doing zoomies. This is Cirque. He is an 11-year-old little dude who is half blind and half deaf. He's actually one of our training dogs as well. So Benny is, you can see he is all about play. He's like, let's go. Now, I kept a snippet in here where I actually call Benny off. I tell him leave it and come to me. He has to do a touch. I reward. And then he got to go back to play, we do it again. I know I think I sent you some photos of him playing with Clark. There's Clark right there. So he definitely gets to rough and tumble, but it's also getting Benny to disengage. So it's not the cleanest video. So right there, here he comes. I asked him for a leave it and come. I gave him some praise. He sat for me. And then we were able to reward. And he's right here and he's going to filter through. We did this a couple times throughout our playtime, but it's a little snippet for you.